All right, volume, volume, volume. This is perhaps the most popular indicator and is obviously a volume indicator. Volume is essential for most traders for any trade that they make. In fact, if you are using thinkorswim, here is a link to load in a custom volume indicator that includes a lot of things that we will discuss in this video. This is not a requirement to do, but I like it better than the standard volume on some of my strategies. Now, volume is simply how many shares of an asset have been traded within a certain time frame. Some traders like to match the color of the candles to the volume. Others use a solid color all the way across. This is really just your preference because you really don't know how many people are buying or selling using volume. You just know the total number of shares being traded. However, in the custom volume indicator, it gives you a better idea of how many are buying and how many are selling. This indicator uses the body and the wicks of the candle to try to figure out how many buyers and how many sellers there are. Another thing that people look at is the average volume. In general, if there is more than average volume, then the stock will likely have more liquidity, volatility, and momentum than usual. Just to give you a general idea, any stock over 1 million shares traded in a day, on average, is a pretty liquid name. You will have to match what you do with how much volume is required for you. A lot of people also like to look at the relative volume. This is looking at the average volume and comparing it to the volume for the day. There are a few equations for this, but most brokers offer it as an indicator. A lot of traders like to look at this to see the significance of a move or the liquidity of the stock compared to normal. Many traders use volume to measure the relative significance of a move. If the volume was low during a move, then the move is less significant. If the volume is higher, then the move is more significant. That is part of the purpose of the yellow line on the volume indicator. It is a moving average of the volume. So anything above the yellow line is relatively a stronger move than if it was below the yellow line. A lot of traders also will look to see if the volume is increasing or decreasing along with the move. Let's take a look at an example. If you look at this chart, you can see this move up had a ton of volume compared to this move down. That shows you there wasn't much trading going on when the price was going down. Therefore, most of the bulls were still holding on. This is a very bullish sign, showing that the move up was significant relative to the volume, and the move down was not very significant relative to the volume. Volume is important to look at when trying to find support and resistance levels as well. Remember, support and resistance levels are levels where the bulls and the bears are just battling it out. So that brings a lot more volume. So the more volume around a certain level, the stronger that battle at that level may have been. So likely, a lot of traders have a position at that area. Volume is also often used as a confirmation tool of an indicator or a candle pattern. For example, a hammer candle at the bottom of a downtrend with a big volume spike on that hammer candle is a strong signal that the hammer candle is confirmed and the chart pattern should play out with the stock reversing. That large spike is likely the rest of the sellers getting out and a bunch of buyers saying that this is the time for it to reverse and go back up. This confirms the legitimacy of the pattern of the hammer candle with that large volume spike. Often, the bottom and top of a significant move have among the largest relative volume pointing to a strong support or resistance level. In other words, the wicks are pointing straight to a resistance or support area. In summary, volume is the shares traded within a certain time frame. It will often be used with all strategies. It is important to know the average volume that the stock makes in a day so that you know how much liquidity that stock has and if it's enough for you to trade it. More than average volume may also bring more volatility or momentum, making bigger than expected moves. I recommend you keep an eye on volume to understand how it works and see how it moves with the candles. It's a big advantage to know what levels most traders are trading, and you find that out by simply looking at the volume. And I'll see you in the next video.